see you, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you, man.
It's good to see all of you guys. I can't stay very long, but I wanted to drop in so that you could have all 3 years of skating, all 3 groups of skating in at one time.
That's dangerous. I think I know who's coming on because I was spoiled earlier to it.
Well, I was with the roller derby, the roller games, and the roller jam. So you got them all right here.
Yeah,
You're right.
In one tiny package.
True.
I will tell you this, and I mean this. I'm not saying it because he's on here. Richard Brown taught me more about roller derby than anybody ever. And it was probably when we were practicing, he came in after probably about a month of us being at the training facility. And Richard's like, "You got the bug yet?" I'm like, "Yes, sir, I do." And he goes, "Isn't it great?" I said, "Yes, sir, it is." And he taught us so much, and I owe everything to him, man. Seriously, Richard was awesome.
Well, with somebody like Buddy Atkinson, who was my trainer, and being there with him, I mean, it just, you know, when you work with people that have the skills, then they just have to come off onto you also, you know, if you
Yep, you're right. And I even
you
took
guys
Richard,
were a hard-working group. I mean, I had my doubts when I first, you know, came in and saw some of you guys, and there's some that I was saying, well, I don't know if they're going to make it. And then there was some that Buddy said, "Oh, I don't know if they're going to make it." I said, "Well, no, let's give them a chance because, you know, even though we had a short time to do it in, you got I think everyone there stepped up.
Yep.
You know, and did whatever was necessary to learn. You know, I've trained a lot of people over the years, and the group there was probably one of the better groups in that when we trained, first of all, we trained for roller derby and roller games differently than we trained you guys for roller jam.
Oh yeah.
I mean, back in the old days, you know, I would be throwing chairs at people and with
you did that too. You did that too.
Well, I know, but
benches and
you know, I would pace them for hours at a time while I read my newspaper. You know, on Sundays, that used to be they used to have the real thick Sunday papers. And I would make the guys, I'd make the group start pacing, and they would pace the whole time it took me to read that whole newspaper from cover to cover. And I mean, it really took some time because I really enjoyed the comics. And back then they had a lot of comics.
I'll tell you a great story. When Richard came down, we became friends automatically. And Richard, I had a pickup truck, and Richard's like, he moved into a house down there, and he's like, "I got no furniture. I don't even have a bed." So I said, "Oh man, that sucks." He goes, "Yeah, I need to get you." He goes, "You have a truck?" I said, "Yes, sir." And he goes, "I need you Saturday." So me and Richard went downtown Orlando Saturday, and we went and got a bed and a dresser. I mean, you remember that? We got all that stuff downtown, and we took it back, moved it into your house, and built the bed.
Yeah,
you had nothing, man.
That was in Sanford, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, we went to Orlando to get your bed and your dresser.
Yeah, no, but I was moving into a home in Sanford. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. and then I spent, you know, sometime I spent with what was that referee's name? That guy.
Sean.
Sean. Oh yeah, that was him. Yeah, that was him. Sean Corbin. So my friend. I spent my first, I think like maybe the first few months I stayed, they had put me up in a hotel.
Yeah.
And then they said, "Okay, well, if you're going to be here, you need to find you someplace to stay." So Sean Corbin let me move in with him, and I stayed with him for about 2 years, almost 2 years, man.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we were.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Good times,
So,
man.
Richard, are you shocked who's sitting next to me tonight since we're down here in Kissimmee?
No, nothing shocks me. Especially when it's 2 thugs together, you know.
You guys are talking to a king. Nothing shocks a king. Nothing shocks a king. Come on, man. Come on, man.
I was going to say that, but you beat me to it.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be in Florida with a bus trip down there, but things got changed around. So
well, that would have been entertaining if Richard would have been here.
yeah, but
We'd have drug his ass over here.
I'd have found time to go out and hang out with you guys. Because normally when we come down there with bus trips, we bring like high schools down there and they go to Disneyland or Universal Studios. We drop them off at one of the parks, and we go back and the whole day with is to ourselves, and then we go back and pick them up at night. So I would have had time to go and do that. Yeah,
that's awesome. So, by the way, Marjorie and Vivian, say hi. They're in the other room.
Marjorie, who?
My wife.
Tell my buddy Vivian I said hi. Oh, and you talking about your wife, Marjorie? Oh yeah. I remember her.
She's coming out to say hi. Hold on. Hey, come here. It's King Richard. Come on, you can lean in a little more.
Hey, Vivian, how are you?
I'm just going.
Hey, tell him I'm busy right now. Sorry.
Sharon.
Call from Jimmy Moore.
Hold on, you guys.
Call from Jimmy Moore.
Rusty disappeared for a second. He's back. But here, Vivian wants to say hi to you, Richard.
Hey, Vivian, how are you?
Doing good.
Good to see you. You having fun down there?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, good.
Okay.
So I must on Thursday. Yay.
Okay.
We have the leaves.
No, honey, we're talking to people that are getting ready to join us. Oh, look who it is. It's Anthony.
Hi.
Hey, unmute yourself, Hardy.
Oh.
Hi.
Check. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good evening, Captain.
I was in
Boy there.
Go back in there.
Okay, so where are all you people from? I know I'm in Texas. I know where those two are from. And Ashley, where are you from?
Alabama.
Oh, we're not gonna hold that against you.
I'm from North Carolina. Come on, raise up.
Hey, okay.
I'm from
I'm not gonna hold
Florida.
that one against you either, Hardy.
JC is in Florida.
Look what I'm wearing.
Rusty's
I am
Florida.
although I'm wearing a jersey of a defunct team from Florida, I'm actually originally from Long Island and now live in Connecticut.
Okay, well, nobody's. We know where Rusty's from, So.
Look what I'm wearing.
Nice.
You from California?
Oh no, I'm from North Carolina. Come on, raise up.
Danielle,
I'm still in Florida.
you're still in Florida. Okay.
He's right down the street from me.
Yeah.
Oh well, beat them up for me when you see them. Go punch them.
Well,
I'm
I'll give him a good elbow.
I'm too fat
Yeah,
now, I
just-
can't
Kind of
be
like this, guys.
Drop kick them. Do the bulldog on them. Something. Send them back to those thrilling days of yesteryear.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Back to when I think most of us were teenagers, right?
And then where you from, Lauren?
Yep.
I live in Florida, but I'm originally from Savannah, Georgia.
Okay, so why'd you jump from out of the frying pan into the fire?
Hey, that's a great question, King Richard.
Well, actually, I really enjoyed the 4 years that I lived in Florida. I really enjoyed it, and I was planning on moving back to Florida, but life gives you these different turns and stuff, so you just got to go with the life. My older brother and my older sister live here in Texas, and so I came, and we didn't grow up together for different reasons. I was always on the road skating and roller derby, so we really didn't grow up together. So when I came down to visit them, I just fell in love with Texas, the weather, with the openness and everything. I fell in love with it, and it gave me. I said, if I move down here, it will give me a chance to be with my older siblings, who I hadn't grown up actually with and didn't see that much. We only saw each other, at weddings, funerals, and once in a while at Christmas time, So that's why I made the move here to Texas and to be near them. So now you know the rest of the story.
Paul
I'm gonna
Harvey.
find my dog. Excuse me.
Excellent.
Lou.
He said he's got to go find his bitch. Great.
Somebody call me.
Nobody called anybody. Hey, Anthony, are you gonna come down to Daly's place Wednesday night, or are you gonna? I know a little off topic.
No, why?
Because if you notice where I'm sitting right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Florida. I don't know if you saw the post, but we're gonna be up at Daly's place Wednesday night.
No, I can't afford to travel.
Gotcha. Oh, there's the cute little dog.
Yeah, it's my Rottweiler. She'll get you.
Now,
Challenger
I
Rottweiler.
would have thought that was his brother, but until I seen him.
That dog's much better looking than me, Richard.
I was gonna go there, Richard, but thank you for taking the bait. We appreciate it.
Rusty, can you believe it's been over 2 years that we have lost Buddy?
I know, man. I saw him probably about a week before he died. We were in a restaurant and I saw him and Drew eating.
Oh, man.
And went out and talked to him, and man, he put his arm around me. And don't get me wrong, I always liked Buddy. He was pretty hard on me. As he was everybody. You know what kind of coach he was. But he put his arm around me and said, man, you're a great skater and you did a good job. And it really made me feel, and a week later he was gone, man.
Yeah, man, not being able to get a chance to see him before. And I mean, it just really shocked me. And it was a few days before I could get myself together mentally. After losing Sean, who him and I was probably really close together, Sean and I, And
Sean hit me pretty bad.
And then when following it with Buddy just really had taken a lot out of me at the time. So I miss him. I missed him. Yeah.
For Buddy.
I do too, brother. I do too, brother. Yep.
Yeah, we all missed him.
Yeah.
Come here.
So Kayla just joined. Kayla.
Hi, Kayla.
Hi.
Hi, Kayla. You have to tell us where you're from.
I'm like fighting with my new computer, trying to figure out how to turn you guys up.
Well, just turn the volume up so you can hear me.
Danielle's sitting there trying not to bust up laughing. Danielle, it's okay. We can all laugh.
There we go. I figured it out. I can hear you.
Oh, good. So
like
now,
30.
where are you from? Everybody is telling each other where are you from?
I'm actually from a little town called Barberville, Kentucky.
Actually, I've been through there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I drive charter buses, and I have been through there. So, yeah.
So, Kayla, did we drive through there on the way down here?
No.
We took 65 all the way through.
No.
No.
No?
No.
I don't think you hit Kentucky.
Oh, we did.
Oh, yeah, they hit
did,
a part of Kentucky, but it didn't go through her area. No.
Yeah, we went right through Louisville, straight down to Nashville. Well, kind of.
Yeah, you didn't go through my area then.
Yep.
Got some Roll Jam playing on my computer as we speak.
Before we went and got dinner, somebody here in this room, not naming any names, was playing episode 1 from season 1, and we were getting some good laughs about certain people that aren't on tonight. Why are you looking at me like that? About Katie with her computer screwing up and her just appearing first, and then she logged off, and then Jamie and her popped on, and Jamie's talking to us, and she's trying to figure out the computer, and we're laughing about that.
And Kaylee and Lauren's expressions, it's like molded in my mind now.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, a shock for me, and I'll openly say this. So I don't know. I know most of everybody here has iPhones. So I don't know how it happened a while ago. This is probably about a month ago. I was telling John about this earlier. I was sitting at my work on a Saturday because I work for a car dealership. And I looked at my phone and this California number is calling my phone. I'm like, well, I have internet leads that are just email only. So I'm trying to figure out, it's probably just one of my customers is calling me, because they didn't want to reveal his cell phone number or whatever. So I let it go to voicemail and then it just started bothering me. I looked at the number. I'm like, that's LA area. So I didn't look up the phone number, but I just called it back when I had a 10-minute break. And the voicemail came back as Jason Stellino.
And who is that?
Laura's
husband.
Oh,
so somewhere or another, they both got my cell phone number now. And so I called Jason back, and him and I had like a 10-minute conversation, not about anything about Laura, but it was about cars. We were talking.
So what do you do you sell cars?
I work in the internet department for the Chevy dealer, right? Literally around the corner from where I live.
So do you sell cars?
I essentially sell cars, yes.
Are you in the market?
It really wasn't a hard question, but
well, are you in the market, Richard?
Yeah,
because I'm needing a new car.
I'm thinking about buying a new car. Yeah, actually, I want to get a truck.
Well, talk to me.
I want to get a truck.
Okay, let me know. Let me know. I know on Saturday we had four 1500 Silverados on the lot.
Okay.
Brand new. So that is something that we do have.
Can you get me a deal?
Richard, I'm only gonna I'll work the deal because we're friends.
That's all I ask.
Yeah,
I want to get everything I can from my friends.
I'm not here to scam my friends. I'm here to sell my friends a car and take care of them. So,
I'll keep you in mind. Keep you in mind.
Yeah, just reach out to me. That goes for you, Danielle, as well. I don't know if you want a truck or whatever.
Nah, I'm still rocking my nice old cars. It's good.
What are you driving?
I got multiple vehicles.
That's scary. That's scary. I don't know what angle you're going to hit us from then.
I need cars that I can fix.
You fix cars?
I work for a restoration company.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we restore vintage Ford Mustangs and Shelbys.
Oh, really?
Ooh. Back to Concourse.
See if you can find me a 1969 Grand Prix. And restore it for me.
There's a lot of zeros in what we do.
Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm. And anybody that 69 Grand Prix is a lot of zeros. I know. So,
yeah, I think we have a 68 Corvette in the showroom at my dealership, and I don't even want to say the number that the Gates family is asking for.
I never liked Corvettes. I wouldn't have driven. Well, I mean, if somebody gave me one, I would have driven it. But so
yeah, it's not a bad way to spend $80,000 right now if you want one.
Well, that's what the truck's gonna cost me. So, especially in this day and age.
No, if you're looking.
The problem with today's cars is there's so much electronics. The mom and pop dealers places, they can't fix them. You have to take it to a dealership.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
This is true.
I can go change my own spark plugs. It's fine. I don't need somebody to do that for me.
Mm-hmm.
So the real question is, can you fish and hunt too?
I don't want to hunt. I don't really want to fish either, but
but you'll take that before you hunt, huh?
Well, I can do it, sure, but I'm not gonna.
She could do it if she had to do it.
Yeah. When the world is coming to an end, I'll figure out which berry to eat.
Well, we may not be that far from that, so keep that in mind.
No, I'm like, I got other modes of transportation. It's okay. I'm good.
I heard you got rollerblades.
Yeah. I may not. I'm okay with hopping on a bicycle or a motorcycle.
I've heard she has multiple vehicles. I think she's covered on that front.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't specify which vehicles she has, if they're cars or what have you. So you're right on that, Ashley.
Yeah, they have wheels.
Do they have gas?
Yes.
Do they have Monte Carlos?
No.
I used to have a Monte Carlo. I liked my Monte Carlo. That was good.
My
car.
parents had a Monte Carlo when I was a kid. It's like, unfortunately, it didn't last long enough for it to be passed down to me. I ended up with an Oldsmobile as my friend, which wasn't bad, but it's not a Monte Carlo.
Do anybody remember the Chevy Vega?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Just let you know, my car dealership's getting a huge shout out here amongst all of us for this discussion.
And, I drove that thing all over the place.
Say King Richard.
Yes.
Are you talking about the Monte Carlo that Denzel Washington drove in Training Day?
Yep. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Reese has just joined. What's up, Reese?
Hey, Reese.
What's going on, everybody?
Reese.
Reese, how you doing? Man, actually, I was like a little tired, but man, there was no way I was missing this premiere. So,
The season Dulce premiere.
Okay, so where are you from, Reese?
yeah, Durham, North Carolina.
North Carolina, come on, raise up.
What's up, mate?
We skated several games in Durham. A lot of games in roller derby.
You're in Blue Devil territory, Reese.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I've been hearing chirp already. And we ain't even have the we don't even have like the tournament set up yet. It's like selection Sunday like 2 weeks from now, but yeah. Yeah, usually whenever
Okay, somebody's from California. Who is that?
I think it's the surprise that I was conjuring up for you, Richard. Let's see.
Oh, where's Danny?
I think Danny said he's going to be out for the weekend.
Oh, boy, sometimes you can have good luck, huh?
That's just bad, Richard. Come on, man. I mean, that's about as bad as the
Danny.
kitty meme that I sent out to quite a few of you guys a while back of the kitty in between the couch cushions. Danielle remembers that one, right?
Danny and I go way back. We go way back.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know, some of the best time I had was working with Danny on the infield, doing interviews with him. That was some of the best times that I had with Roller Jam was working with him, because Danny just went with whatever happened with anybody. You know, he was a real trooper. I really enjoyed working with him. You know, and he used to call my name a lot, so that made.
Yeah.
It cracked me up whenever he would wish you good luck. And you're like, I told you not to wish me good luck.
I don't even know where that started. It just came about, you know, that, and then we just took off with it. You know, it was great.
You would say something and it would stick, and you just go with it.
I'm never gonna forget this, but season 4, Danny was trying to give you mouth to mouth.
Oh my goodness!
Everybody always remembers that one for some reason.
Yeah.
That was when Richard Brown went up against Ray Robles, and Ray Robles won that match race.
I don't remember that. When was that?
Oh God! You don't remember Ray? You don't remember Ray Robles? Let me get this. You don't remember Ray Robles throwing that chili powder at you?
I don't even remember Ray Robles.
That was every weekend.
Yes, that was. Yeah, I definitely remember that with the chili powder. Yeah.
Richard, King, I definitely had a really funny one, and I don't know how either you or Danny didn't crack, but like when they were doing the announcements for the All-Star game and the episode where Sean went crazy, and Actually, I just saw Rusty on here, so Rusty, sorry for bringing this episode up. But yeah, you and Danny were doing an interview, and then Sean comes over on the bench, and he says, "Hey," and he does like a whole Burger King intro or order or something, and Danny is like rolling on this one. And I don't know how either one of you two managed to get back on track after that one.
Well, one of the things about working with certain people, you expect certain things out of them. And so you kind of like mentally prepare yourself for the things that's going to happen. The person that really had me laughing a lot was Kenneth Lowe. He really just, some of the stuff he did was just hilarious. And everybody, everybody always did or tried to do what was asked of them to enhance the program. I think without an exception, every one of the skaters wished they had stayed more with skating. But for what we did and the reason they did it, I think everybody just stepped up and went above, because there's a lot of good skaters out there that really was in the background.
Yeah.
Definitely. And never got a chance to show or do what they really could. So,
Yep.
And
hey, hold on. If I can say something real quick, I'm sorry. Let me just expound on that, Richard. I'm sorry. You had two types of people out there. Now there were some unicorns, if I can say that.
Yeah.
There were actors who could talk on camera, knew everything to say, but they couldn't skate for shit.
Yeah.
And then you had skaters, like you said, who were in the background, who would skate, just phenomenal skaters I couldn't touch. But then you had those unicorns, and I'm not just saying this. You, Sean Atkinson, Mark D'Amato, you guys were the ones that could do both, and that's why you shine. But so I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that's what I want to say.
That's a good observation, but that came from years of practice, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was growing up, I just had a gift. Some people, like you said, they just have gifts. And I remember one of the very first interviews that I did on TV. I couldn't really do it because I couldn't remember what it is they said they wanted me to say.
Right. What the storyline was.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
And so, I asked them, I says, why do I have to say this way? And they looked at me and they said, well, that's the way it reads. And so I said, but it'd be so much easier if you let me do what I do.
Yeah.
So yeah. They said, okay. So they tried me out. I've never had to really follow a script. They've always just came in and said, okay, this is what we want. And give me all we asking you is to give me what I want. And that's the same thing that happened in roller jams. We used to sit down and have those what did they call them things when we sit down and go over what we're going to do on
team meetings or something.
But,
we would
whatever
do it during
it was,
the week.
And we have to go through all the scripts.
Yeah. One thing I thought was the hardest thing, and Richard probably can back me up on this. Anytime Sean Atkinson got attacked, on the early shows when Sean would get attacked, I would jump in. So let's say Richard and somebody so and so would attack him, I would jump on one of those guys, or D'Amato and Washington would jump on Atkinson. I jump on Washington, which is unheard of. But here's the thing: if you think real world and you're with your buddies and somebody gets jumped on, what are you going to do? You're going to help them.
Help your
That's
buddy.
what we do. And I would get in trouble because I'm going off script. I'm like, well, how stupid does it look when we're out on the track and Sean's getting his ass kicked by D'Amato and Richard, and I'm just like going, okay. No, I would jump in, and Buddy would lose his ever loving mind.
Yeah,
and I'm like, Buddy, if you want this to look legit, I've got to jump in, or somebody does, or the team has to separate everybody. And I would go off script. And I'm telling you, if I would go off script, and Rich can tell you this, at the end of that show, Buddy be backstage reaming my ass for going off script. But I'm like, I'm trying to make it look as real as possible, because that's what I would do. I mean, look at this playing hockey. I mean, one of my buddies gets jumped, and then another guy jumps in. I'm going to jump in. If it's one-on-one, that's fine. One-on-one is fine. But if two people are on my buddy, what am I going to do? I'm going to get in there with my buddy. And I wasn't trying to show off for the camera, but I'm like, we want to make this look legit. So that's what I would do.
But that was why they always were mad at you, though, because they didn't want to make it. They didn't care about making it look legit.
I know.
So
I know.
They had a storyline, and I mean, I have been fortunate that almost every organization I ever skated with, every owner that I've dealt with, they always let me do me. So I was able to, even with Roller Jams, after the first interview that we really did as first training, they never came in and they just came to me and said, okay, Richard, this is what we want. This is what we want you to do. And they told me later that they would be sitting in the truck just cracking up over the stuff that I was doing, that they couldn't have. They told me, they said, we couldn't even have written that stuff for you, and it just.
But people like you could get away with that. People like you could get away with that. The guys who are veterans can get away, and I'm not mad. People like that could get away with that. Richard could get away with it. D'Amato, Atkinson, us. Oh no, you better stay in the script. I mean, this is what we do. So.
No, and then if you were a pack skater, you weren't told what was going on, so we just stood there like, "Whoa, what's happening?"
Yeah.
We wouldn't know what's going on. We didn't know that this was happening and that was happening.
That was some of our buddies' biggest complaint, and my biggest complaint was that when we were in roller derby and roller games, everybody knew what was going on. And it actually made for a better game, because the people in the pack knew they had to get certain people out of the pack, or knew they had to take that pack down in a certain position, certain place. And so it actually made for a better looking game than, the way Roller Jam did it. Roller Jam was like I think I've said this before. They could have made that into a full-time sport. Because they had the talent, we had and they had the money. But they only wanted to make. They told me, we only want to make 109 shows, because that's how much they had to have in order to syndicate. And the money is in syndicating. That's what they told me. They actually could have went and we could probably still be going today if they had really wanted to do that.
Absolutely.
Imagine Danielle and Rusty as coaches for their respective former teams.
Oh my God.
We're that old now, so we could do that. Hey, let me tell you this one story. And I'm sure I've said it in the past. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but talking about going off script. If you remember the shows when Sean and Denise had a love affair, and I was getting pissed about it.
And broke my heart. Yeah, I remember that. Go ahead.
Yeah, they had a love affair, and some of the people on here might not have heard the story. And so that show, Denise, I was supposed to set her up for a skyscraper, where Sean came in and knocked her down. And I set her up, and he didn't do it. And so I grabbed her and I bulldogged her on the track. Then Sean skyscrapered me. So let's back up a little bit. During commercial, one of the producers, I forget his name, Richard. He's a little bitty Hispanic guy, short guy. He came out and gave me some blood caplets, and I put them on my tongue. So when Sean skyscrapered me and started punching me, I started chewing those caplets, and blood is pouring out of my mouth. And the producers had no idea we were doing that. and they except for the little guy that helped me out, but he wasn't the one behind the camera and the soundboard. And they saw the blood pouring out of my mouth, and then remember little Ken Tracy, little stick boy, tried to help me up. They had fire rescue come out and grab me. They thought I was really hurt. I mean, the producers and the director thought I was hurt. They took me backstage, and it made for great TV. And they took me backstage. All right, just relax. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. No, like, you're bleeding. I'm like, no, this is just fake. The heat I took from that, they sat me down. They're like, we will fire you if you do that again. I'm like, yes, sir. Because it made good. I mean, I was bleeding. My mom was in the stand. She thought something was happening. My mom's like, oh my God, my son, she's running back. Security's holding her back from going backstage. And I'm like, dude, I said, no, it's good TV. It was good TV, but not for the Nashville Network. Not for the Nashville Network. So I went off script and I got my ass handed to me. But I thought it was good. I don't know.
I mean, at least you doing the blood capsule and the mouth rusty is better than the horrible blade job that they did on the rock and roller games. If you remember, if Richard probably remembers that more than anything, when I forget who it was. I forget who it was and what team, but he
I want to say, was that the Brian Jacobson, Steve Santillan incident, Maniacs versus Rockers?
Yes.
And what happened?
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, at the end of the game, Steve went after Brian and he sort of like whipped him around and he like landed on his, and then he landed like flat. I don't know if it was I don't remember if it was the track or the infield. And he was sort of bleeding afterwards. And then they had, I think they even had, Shelley Jameson like ask him something while he's on the ground bleeding. I don't remember, after 30 years, I don't remember all the specifics, but that was, because that's the only time I remember from the roller games from anybody bleeding.
Actually, what happened was he got cut with the axle of a skate.
Oh.
And that's why he was bleeding. And they saw it and ran with it. But he actually did get hurt. He was bleeding. I remember that he was bleeding like a stuffed pig.
Oh yeah, I remember.
But he actually, when they went down, somebody had clipped him in the face and cut his eye open, and they just ran with it. I remember that incident.
Yeah. It looked bad. I mean, but I seriously always thought that was the old razor blade.
No.
Forehead.
Well, actually, back in the days, Buddy Atkinson and Ronnie Raines had a match race, and they used the razor blades on their foreheads, and they didn't tell anybody. And so
old Dusty Rhodes trick.
Yeah. And they wound up. I mean, every time Buddy hit Ronnie Raines, that blood would just squish out there with the thing, and that was just something that they did on their own. Nobody knew anything about it. But that incident that you were talking about that was a complete fluke. He actually really did get hurt in the game, and they ran with it to make it look as worse than it really was, But I remember that.
I always thought. I'm gonna be honest. I thought, watching that game and watching that incident back, I thought that was a blade job. I thought that was. That was the good old pro wrestling. We're gonna juice.
Yeah.
Make it look good.
Yeah. No, it was that was an actual injury that happened. It was a fluke thing. No, actually, nobody really knew it had happened until they started seeing all this blood all over the place. And he had really told me, he said, I got kicked in the face, and they set him on the bench so that the blood would be dripping all down. And nobody ever does that. You always hold them back, and stuff. But that they ran with that. But that was an actual accident at that time. Yeah.
Gotcha. So now we learned something new, I guess.
Yeah. Now I remember one time I had broken my wrist. No, actually, I had broken my arm. It wasn't my wrist; it was my arm at the time. And we were up in somewhere in Upper New York, getting ready to go into Canada, but we were in New York skating at the time, and we were skating against Harold Jackson, and I were the main attraction things out there. And I had my hands in a cast. So we was skating after a jam. Harold came up to me and he grabbed my hand and he hit it off of the rail. Well, when he hit it off the rail, he hit it up in this part of it, you know, and I yelled out, "Holy murder!" Ah! And everybody just went quiet for a second. They thought that Harold really had hurt me, which he actually really didn't hurt me, because when he grabbed me and went up with it, I just understood what he was going to do. And when he slammed that off of that rail, it was so real like that the owner, Bill Griffith, almost fired him that night because he thought he really had hurt me. He said, "You knew he had a broken arm. Why would you do that?" You know. And I was, I didn't hurt him. I said, "Billy didn't hurt me." He said, "Well, you shouldn't be doing stuff like that anyway," you know. But that was another one of the times where, and I mean, when Bill Griffith was shocked, you know, you did your job. So there.
You know, speaking of tie into Bill Griffith, I don't know if I told you this, Richard, but not too long ago, we bought for our own entertainment at home, Kansas City Bomber. And
Yeah.
went right to the scene where Bert walked by you and you go, "What's up, Bert?"
Hi, Bert. Yeah.
Yeah,
They all thought I was crazy. They came up to me and said, "How would you, the manager's going to be walking through, the owner's going to be walking through. How would you greet him?" Well, me and Bill Griffin always was on a first name basis, almost from day one, you know. And so I said, "Okay." They said, "Just act like you know me Woodson." When he walked in, "Hi, Bert." And everybody looked at me, you know, because they thought I was going to say, "Hi, Mr. whoever his last name was." But you told me to be natural. That's how I would have greeted Bill. You know, I'd have said, "Hi, Bill." I wouldn't have said, "Hi, Mr. Griffith." So,
well, it's so funny that we went and rented that movie after we met down at in Indy at Cracker Barrel.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Yeah, we bought it after that, and we saw that scene, and Marjorie, Vivian, and I both started laughing when we saw that scene because I was like, "There's Richard."
Well, you know, that's on that games. I really did have a broken arm then.
Yeah, that's what I pointed out to her too, because I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
So real quick though, I mean, you know, we watched that movie, and I got to admit, you were something. Yeah, I mean, you were not a bad-looking guy before electricity. I got to admit that.
Wow.
I didn't say that. He did.
Okay, and the punchline?
I didn't say that. He did.
You guys hear me say that? He's trying not to laugh.
You know, I did tell you, I think I told you guys that as a man, that was probably one of the most disappointing times in my life as a man. When we went there and I walked in the building, I said, "Oh my God, I am going to enjoy making this movie with Raquel Welch."
Mm-hmm.
The guy told me, "That's not Raquel Welch, that's her stand-in. There's Raquel Welch." And she was really, I mean, you expected to see a sex goddess. She was kind of like a petite woman. She had on sweatshirts and jeans, you know, no big deal to me. Her stand-in to me looked better than she did, you know, not Judy Arnold, but her other stand-in looked better than she did. And Raquel had the nastiest disposition. You know, we used to hear the stories about actors and actresses causing delays in production because they didn't like the way something went, and they would go sit in their trailers and all that stuff. Well, that really was true. And she did that to us several times. She would go pout and sit off in her room and stuff like that. And so I told her one day, I said, "You know," I said, "if you really were on my team, I would find you every day."
Oh my God.
Hey, real quick, our mystery guest this evening that we have kind of worked a little hard on. I think he has audio, but we're trying to get his video up. Could you speak up, Mr. Guest?
That's the famous Richard Brown there.
Get the heck! I thought I knew that phone number. Get the heck out of here! Well, how are you, Icebox? How are you?
Huh?
I said, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Okay, so why you come on my show?
Hey, I followed you around when I was young. I'm still following you around.
So for those out there that don't know who the voice is, please introduce yourself, sir.
I am Icebox. The Icebox.
How did you get the name Icebox?
He just marked out like a schoolgirl.
How did you get the name Icebox?
The fans started calling me that in Chicago.
You know the story I had heard?
What is the story?
The story that I heard was that they started calling you Icebox because they couldn't call you Refrigerator because of the wrestler. Was it a wrestler that had the name Refrigerator?
Do not
William Perry.
Not
Perry. William Perry.
Right. There was Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We were in Chicago, and we were going against the Devils, Monster Man Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole 2 weeks I was there for 2 weeks doing promos and everything. And all the fans was hollering, started hollering Icebox that, when I come out the radio stations and during the game, they had Icebox signs. I told him I can do what the refrigerator do. Can the refrigerator do what I do?
Okay. That's something that I didn't know.
I got to tell y'all a story. Me and Richard are from the same town, and I followed Richard around. I did whatever he did to get in there. I'm one of the skaters that are fortunate to skate with my idols of roller jam, roller derby. I was with them all.
He's an all right guy.
Well, hey, Icebox, I think you heard me when I said what I said about Richard being something before electricity, right?
Well, you're not going to get me in that, okay? You're not going to get me in that. I'm the one got to get. Hey, if anybody can get you, he's one of the guys that can get you back.
Well,
oh, I know that. Richard roasted me at lunch a few months back when he was in Indy visiting. We drove down from South Bend to have lunch with him, and yeah, he roasted me pretty good.
Yeah. Icebox and I spent so much time together. We became like brothers, and a lot of people think to this day that we're brothers. And his mom adopted me as her son. And so I used to do a lot. I'd go over there and tell him whenever Icebox did something I didn't like, I would go tell his mom and she would beat him up. So it was, we've had a great time together over the years.
And vice versa. I tell Richard mommy he did something to me and she'll whoop me.
Yes. Yeah. So everything all right in Oakland?
Everything is okay in Oakland. I'm sitting here hearing your stories over here, and I just turn around. I say, those are some crazy stories, even the Brian Jacobs story. I was right there. I thought he was done.
Yeah, because I remember watching that game, and I mean, obviously you guys would have been there, but you're watching that game, and it's like just the way Steve Santillan sort of helicoptered him. It's like it was one of those. It's like, then then he gets caught by the skates. And that's why he's bleeding. But it's like it's one of the nastier spills I ever saw. Like watching a game.
I know.
Well, Stevie was pissed off. He was pissed off. So
we always get pissed off when things don't go right. Most of skaters were sticklers with trying to make sure that things went right. And when someone is in the way or does something that interferes with it and it comes out looking bad because of it, we really would get upset about that. But.
So Anthony, do you have any questions for Icebox, you marked out pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, I think Anthony marked out about as much as I did for Chris Jericho.
I sent the message. I sent the message to Anthony. Anthony won't respond. He told me to hold on.
Oh, snap!
Excuse you, sir.
That's foul.
Think you need to
Damn,
fix that,
Anthony,
Anthony.
you just got called out by the Icebox.
So does that mean when you see him in person, you're going to do the deep freeze on him?
Oh,
You got it coming. You have it coming.
I'll have you throwing
You
her
got
overboard
it
by the time that happens.
Oh, you think so? Woo! I'm gonna show up in your town. If you don't know nothing about Richard Brown and Icebox, we'll show up in your town just to show up.
I wish the Icebox would hit me with the deep freeze.
Oh no, Richard, where y'all find that guy at? Where did y'all find Mr. Woo Jacksonville himself?
You know how when you be driving through, sometimes you have to go through them cities and you see them standing out there waving and carrying on. So
I've been trying to get him to come hang out with us. He's scared because everybody's after him.
Lord, who's after you, Lord?
Hey, King Richard, I'm trying to challenge old boy Tony Trujillo to a match race, but nobody say that I don't have the guts.
Well, Tony Trujillo's too old now. You know.
I tried to challenge Richard Brown the other day, but he wouldn't accept it. He thinks I'm out of shape.
Yeah, you need to get in shape.
If you challenge Richard Brown, you got to challenge the 6'4", 360-pound behemoth behind him. Okay.
After I finish Richard off and put him into permanent retirement, Icebox, you're next.
Oh man.
Richard, how many
Vivian would have a better chance with me than you would.
How many people have told you that, Richard? How many people have challenged you?
Well, you know, I'm often imitated but never duplicated.
This is true.
That is true.
There's a couple of guys that I would never challenge. I just try to do my job. I can tell you, I was skating on a tour in Baltimore, and I was skating against Richard. And I heard Richard holler, get him low, I get him high. And then it was the Monster Man, Mr. Mean, and Harold Jackson, all of them on this. I said, how are you supposed to skate against a team like this? And when I looked up, all three of them was flying, and they were pulling me down. I was going down like a tree.
I remember that. Baltimore.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want the Monster Man in a match race, right? I want him.
Okay, so fantasy match race here. Since we got a few skaters on from different shows. This is fan skaters. Everybody can chime in. Danielle, Rusty, you guys can chime in on this. Although I think we know how Rusty's going to vote after I say who it is. Fantasy match race. Rusty Montgomery versus the Icebox. 5 laps. Anything goes. Let's hear
Rusty,
your votes.
Rusty, do you still have your skates?
I still skate, Bubba. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I was 180 pounds. Hold on, sorry, my light keeps going off. I was 180 pounds in the roller jam. I'm 240 now.
Oh.
So I'm like a Sean Atkinson, but I'm like 3 inches shorter.
That's the best type of match race there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not gonna take anything from the guys that skated before me because I learned from them. So I wouldn't take anything from them.
Well, if I have to have a match race, I want Danielle. I think I can beat her.
No, she's pretty fast. She can't keep up with her.
Bring it on.
You can't keep up with her, man.
I'll tell you what, I'd be afraid of Danielle because one, you used to play roller hockey, right? Is that correct, yes. Danielle? So she knows how to hit. So I'd be afraid of that for one. Two, she's pretty quick, from my memories of watching the episodes that we got to see her skate on.
Yep.
So I truthfully, I'd be scared of Danielle more than anybody here.
You know what? One of the things that really impressed me about Roller Jam was the ability of the hockey players to adapt to the bank track the way they did.
Mm-hmm.
They never lost that hockey style.
Mm-mm.
And through all the years, I never thought that would make a good bank track skater. but I was really wrong. I mean, their ability to use what they knew into this new setting was uncanny to me. I was pleasantly pleased that they were able to adapt the way they did.
Because you taught us that.
Yeah, but do you remember that when we were training about that, one of the rules that we were made was to stay in your own space?
Yeah.
Because as hockey skaters, they pushed out.
Yep.
When they're moving. And by pushing out, they would be kicking other people. So
yep.
I remember we used to do exercises just so that they learned to skate together. And so they didn't use their hockey style as much until they were out on a jam or chasing somebody out or something like that.
Yep.
But I really was impressed that they were able to adapt so well with that different style. One of the hardest things to do on a bank track is to bring a flat track skater onto a bank track, because the way they skate on a flat track is not conducive to a game in the bank track.
Nope.
But I was just really surprised at how well the hockey skaters adapted, and they understood that they had to take the smaller power strides instead of the real out strides that they would normally take flying down the ice. They knew they had to adjust themselves, and they did it. You guys did it real well. Well.
You go up high, you come down low.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just had to learn that when you're skating in a pack, you had to take little choppies,
Yes.
strides, because you don't really need your power. You're staying in a pack. You have to stay at the same speed as the pack and go.
Yes.
But versus like a flat track versus a bank track, I mean, I brought in all the hockey people pretty much, and it's like, so we were skating on wood, we were skating on roll-on, we were skating out on asphalts and parking lots. So like whatever material you were skating on, it didn't matter. We could adapt.
Yes.
We could figure it out.
Yeah.
Although, like, when Posse still hit most of you guys, it still felt like you were in a hockey game, though.
That's just because of the way he skated. He was a hockey player too.
He was just bull in China shop.
But I will tell you this.
He would swing.
Richard, you remember in Vegas, when we went to Vegas, that was a brand new track, and we never skated on it before, ever. And you remember you remember how slick that track was?
I hated that track.
I remember them putting Mountain Dew down.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put like sticky stuff down. We had to get new wheels, because if you watch the first few games in Las Vegas, we would just fall, and everybody's like, God, they can't skate. Like, no, it's like ice. It's just we just flip right out.
You remember the
Amy Craig went and slid out and busted her shin open.
Yeah, the material,
because then the edging on the track, they made it out of like sharp aluminum, and it was like, who's that?
Oh man, yeah, people were getting hurt on that stuff.
Yeah,
but yeah, I remember that. I hated that track because it just couldn't. I mean, we changed our wheels. That's really what took me from. I put big wheels in the back and small wheels in the front, and that gave me a little more track.
And what a lot of people don't understand is that first track we had was like huge. The second track, which was premiered in Vegas, that was way shorter. It was a shorter track, way shorter. Now, don't get me wrong, the floor gave more when we hit. The first track was like concrete.
Yeah, when you hit that track, because they had each section had like 3 complete braces all the way down on each one.
They spread them out on that new track. So it flexed. So don't get me wrong. We hit, and don't get me wrong. We hit it flexed. It still hurt.
Yes.
And nobody understands that. So we talk about, the games and how, everything was scripted, blah, blah, blah. I understand that. But when Richard Brown was going to hit me in the face with the briefcase, I had to sell it. So what that means is when I saw it coming, I just relaxed my body. I let him hit me, and I hit. So in essence, it was a real hit. Richard really hit me with that briefcase.
I did.
But I had, no, you did. But I
never touched anybody with that briefcase.
Anybody that hit, whether you got skyscraper, you got bulldog, you got, anything. Mark, you had to hit and sell it. So you just had to relax your body and go.
Balls were real.
It sucked. I broke both my legs during Roller Jam. It sucked, man. It was no joke. It was no joke. But that's what brought ratings. The real hits.
I remember breaking all of my ribs, taking a rail.
Mm-hmm.
I came off a 5-man whip. And the first, usually when you do a 5-man whip, the first person has to go down on the infield. The second one has to go down on the infield, and then the other ones move forward.
And you go from 0 to 55 in no second, man.
And they didn't. The first person didn't go down onto the infield. He stayed on the white line of the track. So when they whipped me, I'm on the rail on one skate, and I could not make the turn. I just hit that rail, and when I took the rail, like we normally take one arm under, one arm on top, the force of it, the rail broke at the uprights, and I'm flying through the air holding the rail like this and wound up in the seats out there and cracked every one of my ribs. I was,
that's where I got the majority of my arthritis is from Roller Jam.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I suffer with that all the time, man.
Yeah.
I do want to point out that no disrespect, but my dream match race would have been against Tim Washington. I always wanted to come out there and take on Tim Washington.
No, you just blow on him, he'd fall over. He'd fall over. Now, you take the skates off. No, you take the skates off and go mano a mano. It's a different story. But with the skates, I blow on him, he'd fall over.
But I had fun watching him, and I always say, "Look, I got to be in there. They got a big man like me over there."
I had fun. I had fun skating with everybody in Roller James. I cannot say enough how much respect I have for them, not only as skaters, but as individuals, because I had gotten suspended over there when I was with Roller Jams, and almost everybody to a T stood up and told the company that if I go, they weren't going to skate.
That's a true story.
And they kept me on. And so I just have the utmost respect for all of the people of Roller Jams.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a question. Here's a universal question. For Icebox, did they ever approach you to do Roller Jam, or no? They never reached out.
They never reached out, but they never reached out, but I'm like a Ward. If it would have went another year, I was gonna follow Richard like I always do.
So
that would have been an interesting storyline if Icebox popped out, like, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I remember it's like I forgot how many episodes it was when we had Ray on, and he talked about how it's like, you know, not a lot they didn't, you know, other than him and Richard and Patsy and Vicky McHugh, and they really didn't contact a lot of the ex-Roller Games people. So, you know, would have been interesting.
And there was a reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted young people, and most roller derby skaters or roller game skaters were up there in age.
Yeah.
And actually, when I came down, I was strictly supposed to come down and train everybody. And they happened to come in a couple of times and watch me skate while I was training, and they could not believe that at my age, that I was able to keep up with these young kids. And then they asked me if I would be interested in skating, in the game.
Yep.
Richard, 41's not old. Come on, you were 41.
Well, actually, I was 51 at the time. They said they announced it and everything that I was 41, but I was actually 51.
So you're 107 now? Wow.
Almost. Not far off.
Hey, Bubba. Hey, man, I love you, man. I'm giving you a hard time. Come on, man. I love you, man. Come on.
Y'all crazy.
Okay, so how old do you think I am?
Hold on, time out. So when Richard started, everybody look at me. Let me suck it in. Everybody look at me. When Richard started, my age. He was my age. That's saying something. That's saying something because he would take a freaking fall with the best of them, better than most people. And I didn't know how old Richard was back then. Back then, I was in my early mid-20s, and I thought Richard was like in his late 30s, early 40s. And I'm like, oh man, he's really good for that old. I didn't know he was that old. God bless you. But man, look at that. That's awesome. Because I tell you right now, I wouldn't want to take that now, brother. I wouldn't want to take that now. There ain't no way. No.
I started my career when I was 13 years old.
Wow.
In 1964, I skated my first professional game at 16 years of age.
I was -9.
I was negative.
God bless you.
It's King DeLeon.
Like -25.
Without telling my age, I started when I was 14.
Nobody cares how old you are.
33.
Yeah, and
forever in your mind, you're 33.
And I'm 47. I'm 47, everybody.
I got a video from 22 years ago or 23 years ago that says you were 41. But I think the video kind of revealed a little bit. Dye your hair black at the time, and you were actually gray.
We missed about half of that story.
Richard didn't dye his hair.
Yeah, Richard did dye his hair. My whole family, the guys in our family always grayed early, and I used to dye my hair all the time. And then one day I just said, it don't make no sense that I'm spending all this money to dye my hair. It didn't change my ability to skate one bit.
Nope.
So,
Hey, you fooled us, man, because you had a little bit of gray in your beard.
Yeah.
And you were completely black. And I thought that was natural. So you fooled me, man.
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah.
I knew he was dyeing his hair because he wasn't.
Yeah, when I came down, I think I was 51 years old when I did that. And that was in
1999.
98, 99, 2000.
Yeah. Man, long time ago.
I'm going on 70. I'm going on 74 now.
Well, you look good, brother.
And I still think I could take Danielle even at 74.
I don't believe that. I bet
never
you can't.
What that rating?
Oh boy.
Well, I want to point out that they're supposed to do some games down here coming up in the next 3 or 4 months, and I have asked Richard to be the coach of my team, skating coach.
Nice.
For who?
Nice.
For the New York Chiefs.
Is it a bank track or flat track?
Bank track.
I don't skate flat track.
Nice. No, I know that, but I know that there's some real roller derby going on. There's some people. Danielle knows there's some real roller derby going on, but they're flat track and Christina.
It's all flat track.
I know, but they're like, oh, you don't know what
and they're all women.
I don't know what it's like. I know what it's like.
They try and recruit me every time, and I'm like, yeah, it's a long time ago. And I'm like, it's a flat track. I'm gonna just throw you to the wall.
Listen, Richard can tell you if it's not a bank track. To me, it's not like regular roller derby. It's not.
Yeah.
Got to be a bank track.
I think it's a whole different game. And then I asked them too. I was like, "Do you allow inlines?" Because I still don't really skate quads at all. So, and they're like, well, the refs can have inlines. You could referee. And I'm like,
No.
yeah, no.
Hey, Richard, you'll like this. So now I don't own inlines anymore. I only skate quads now. That's all I skate.
Oh,
Quads.
really?
Yeah. I went back because my ankles are so bad. I have too much arthritis in my ankles. I had to get quads, man. I can't do inlines anymore.
So, Rusty, whatever happened to the building that was our training school?
Still there. It's a
daycare.
It's a daycare center now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Still there. It's still there.
Yeah, there's the 417 goes right in front of it. There's a giant overpass.
What a lot of people don't know is that what a lot of people don't know, I think Richard knows, but a lot of people don't know is that place was the skating rink I grew up in. It was called Melody Skating Rink. It started in the 50s, 1954. And that's the place in the 70s and 80s that I skated. So I skated that rink. So when they closed, the owner died. And when they closed that rink, when I heard Sean, the
Corbin.
referee,
Corbin.
John Corbin told me about tryouts, and it was the same concrete floor that we tried out on, or that I skated on. I was like, man, the nostalgia was awesome. And then about a couple weeks after that, they came in and built that bank track, and I was like in heaven. But to me, it was cool because all my childhood memories were at that place. And then we started skating. So that to me, it meant a lot. So that place holds a lot of memories for me.
Well, and I bet if we went in there and ripped the carpet up, the floor is still there.
Oh, it's still there. Oh, absolutely. It's still there. Yeah.
Because even with Deltona, that Deltona got turned into a church for a while.
Yeah.
And they ripped up the floor, and the floor was still there. And now
floor
it's
still there
again.
Yeah. One of the trips that I did, bus trips that I did in Florida, I took a ride back by the Roller Jam Arena and saw that they had converted that into a church.
Yeah.
I just saw that last November when I was down, that it was a church. I literally passed right by it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that actually right here in Kissimmee where we're staying at?
Yeah, yes, it is. That like let's say so you have some of the gladiators, like Bill Barker was a gladiator. Lee Hawk Rareman, who was he was a gladiator. That's where they were at, and when that went defunct, and they heard about all this, that's when they went to Roller.
Oh, that's where they used to do the gladiator show from.
Yeah, you see the gladiator arena.
Okay.
Yep. So that's where Bill Barker, Lee Hawk Rareman, a bunch of them used to do.
Tim Washington.
Tim Washington, yeah, that's where they were at before. So to them, when we went there, that was a lot of nostalgia for them. They're like, man, this is where we used to perform. When this went defunct, we went to Roller Jam, and now here we are back here. So it's kind of cool, you know.
That is pretty cool. I didn't realize we were that close. That's probably what about?
It's right.
I'm not going to reveal.
It's right down 192. It's right down 192.
Yeah. What was that? Arlo. What's it called? Arlo something road.
Arlo Bronson.
Yeah, Arlo Bronson. Yeah, there. Yeah. I still got my business cards with that address on it from WSL. I still got some of the business cards from that.
Dude, hold on to that, man. Hold on to that.
I found some old WSL business cards that I had.
Yeah.
With some phone numbers, and I was gonna post them, but I was like, people are gonna start calling these numbers. Like, who knows where those numbers go to?
I tried that with the tickets. I tried to.
Yeah, I got some tickets too that I have, and I got all of. I think I got just about all of my ID cards that we had to use to get in at Universal Studios when we were
Soundstage 21. Soundstage 21.
Yes.
And if anybody goes to Universal Studios now, right behind Rock and Roller Coaster, that's Soundstage 21. It's the biggest soundstage they had. That's where we did all of our shows.
Isn't it still used for like wrestling?
They use it for everything, but it's the biggest soundstage they have. The biggest one they have.
It's the largest.
I got to bounce out, so
good seeing you, Reese.
All right, Reese.
Good seeing you, Reese. Have a good one.
Take care, Reese.
Michael Sanders too.
Reese. I knew I was going to get a Mo comment from somebody before this night was over.
Well, Jamie's not here to help you out, so you know.
Yeah.
No doubt today.
Actually, I'm going to have to be leaving too because I have to spend some time with my wife.
Yeah, we don't want to get you in trouble for missing out on time with
yeah,
wife.
we've been home. We got home, and I haven't really had much time to spend with her, so I'm going to be spending because I've been on the road a lot. So,
hey, Richard, it's good seeing you, my friend.
It is always a pleasure. Looking forward to the next one, whenever it is. I'm just sorry I couldn't stay on until the end of it. Close you guys out, but maybe next time.
Nah, you're good, Bubba. You're good, man.
You guys take care, and we'll have a nice one. And I wish you all the best in whatever you're doing out there, man.
Thank you, Richard.
Did you fly down? Did you fly down or did you drive?
We drove it.
Okay, be careful out there going back. You know, be safe on the roads.
Oh, we were very safe last night, and
actually, what you should do is let Vivian drive, and you take a rest.
You know, we actually talked about that one in about 10 years.
All right, tell her I said hi. I love you guys. You take care. Bye-bye.
Richard. Hey, buddy.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Oh, thank God he's gone,
huh? Wait a minute.
I'm scared of that guy. I'm just gonna talk shit about him right now. No, I'm joking. No, Richard's a good guy. No, Richard's a good guy. Richard's a good guy.
Yeah, he used to talk about you all the time. I'm trying to get you to come down there and stay with us.
No, I don't want to be around you, sir. I don't want none of that.
Rusty, all it is the deep freeze, Rusty.
That's it. I've heard horror stories. I don't want the deep freeze. I'm all right. I live in Florida. We don't have deep freezes.
I'm coming to Florida.
Rusty, do you have any references that you don't have any deep freezes?
No, not offhand. But listen, I respect the old guard 110%. These guys are what paved the way for us to do what we do. So I thank all of them. I really do.
Yeah.
I enjoyed y'all. I watch some of the games now, and I enjoy watching y'all. I was trying to get there. Richard used to tell me, when you coming? That
would have been interesting. That would have been very interesting to have an Icebox on Roller Jam.
Yeah.
But question is like which team
going at it?
Oh. Which team do we think the Icebox would have been the best fit on if he was in Roller Jam?
Oh, Sundogs.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah,
because the Sundogs were just like his. They were
the most T-Bird-esque team.
Yeah, they were.
They were America's team.
Yeah.
Quakes was on the line. Quakes was like half, New York Enforcers, half Sundogs.
Oh, they were tweeners.
Yeah, I feel like that was the interesting thing with Roller Jam is that it's like the Sundogs were petitioned to sort of be the T-Bird-esque team, and the Enforcers were the
violators.
Violators, exactly. But you had more. But it felt like there were more tweeners in Roller Jam than there were in Roller Games 89-90. Roller Games 89-90 felt like it was, you had your 3 white shirt teams, T-Birds, Rockers, Hot Flash, and you had your 3 red shirt teams, Violators, Bad Attitude, and the Maniacs.
Yeah.
And there was no real in between, as opposed to Roller Jam. It was a little bit more like in between. Right. Yeah, with Sundogs being on one end and the Enforcers being on the other.
Right.
So let's ask Danielle, since she's in the middle on this one.
Literally.
Yeah, literally on our screen right in the middle.
Oh no, I'm far left on my screen.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now it's somebody's ceiling.
So here's the golden question. Since we're talking about face, heels, we're talking tweeners. If you had to pick your side, which one would have been more natural for you to play? If they would have had you go one direction, would you have been better at playing the good guy, or would you have been better at playing the bad guy, the one that
probably the good guy at that time?
Yeah, she had
at that time.
At that time, now probably bad guy.
If Icebox.
Oh, then I was shy and quiet and.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was.
I would have been more good guy.
Not if I was there.
Danielle,
Not if I was there.
Ale house, you were quiet that night too. So
Yeah.
That's the real Danielle.
Because if I don't know
Danielle
you
would
yet,
not have been quiet if I was there.
All right.
Now,
hold on. I got a question real quick. Two-part question. Just bear with me. Ashley, do you ever shut the fuck up? This whole time you will just be interjecting. You won't say anything. No. Ashley, who was your favorite team?
I was kind of in the middle with mainly the Riot and the Hot Dice.
Okay, never mind. Just be quiet. All right. All right. Don't say anything else. You're all right. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you.
Rusty knows
Whatever,
my
man.
answer. I think he does,
Whatever.
right?
Whatever. I thought you'd say Quakes, but it's cool. It's whatever.
I mean, I like the Quakes. I didn't have a problem with them. They were like within my
Oh,
top
yeah,
three.
Yeah, now, hey, Ashley, nice save. Not.
You know what would be a nice twist? If Icebox was in Roller Jam, make him a heel and put him on teaming up with Washington.
I have a feeling Icebox would have been a black team. He would have been the heel. He would have been the enforcer.
To see Icebox as a heel would have been an interesting take.
Yeah.
And then you got the skyscraper duo in Washington.
Yeah. Hold on. Let Icebox have his rebuttal. What's up, bub?
I am I love being a T-Bird Bay Bomber, but for the last 17 years, I've been a bad guy. And I have to say that I've been paying everybody back that got me. Because what I gave out,
you got in spades.
I mean, what I got right back, and as a T-Bird and a Bomber, I got it. They were giving it to me, but I was paying. My whole job was to pay people back. So
that's right.
I thought about being a Riot.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
So,
all right.
Right, and it's interesting that you say that because it's like just the way things worked out. The Riot over their existence had the most connections to roller games because of course you had Richard, you had Ray, and you had Patsy.
Yep.
I don't see how they let them stack that team like that. But y'all had some great skaters. Don't get me wrong. Y'all got great skaters. You know what I mean?
They still had their losses. It's all right. They still had their losses.
Hey, so
Russ.
Icebox.
Russ.
Icebox, I got a question for you. So, Richard's been complaining for probably the last year, and I'm going to use the word complaining because that's probably the most accurate word to say it. That he needs to get one game in this decade so he can say he skated in 7 different decades. Is there a chance that you could squeeze to get him in that game and let him skate so that way, we could way he doesn't shut up about it. He can finally shut up about it.
Well, that's the whole reason of him coaching the team. He's a skater coach. I'm telling you, Rusty and all y'all, that Richard on the track, he's still him and Mr. Mean and the Monster Man. Still can go. They still can go.
Yep. I know that.
Time for you to come out of retirement for the girls.
The only difference is he has a handicap placard on his car now.
Oh. Rusty. Well, hey, I would put Richard against anybody 21, 22 right now. I've seen Richard take a jam and still hockey stop, and the skater's still going. He's hurt, you know what I mean? Because he's still flying.
Yeah.
And I turn around, ain't no way somebody 70-something years old can outskate this 21.
But my question is, does he have one of those beginner skater walkers that has wheels on it out there? Is that what he uses now, or?
Wow, Rusty, look, Richard, where you at?
You saved all this for Richard to sign off, Rusty.
No, I did because I did because that man scares me. That man scares me. He taught me what I know. He scares me.
Hey, you know what? You guys can all ask this. Okay, you guys can ask Richard. Lauren, I'm going to put you on mute because I don't know what you're doing, but
Yeah, it's
loud. Ice or something.
Yes.
I don't know what the hell he's doing.
He's building a club sandwich.
Okay. Now we
came back and
Hey, that sound like Lauren. That sound like Lauren.
So you can ask Richard this. We had lunch. This was probably a few months back in Indy. I don't know if any of you guys saw the post of all of us having lunch together down there. So, true story. I'm not joking. For probably a good half of the dinner, I'm shaking my legs because I'm seriously afraid of like Richard like absolutely backhanding me. And he finally calls me out about it. And he's like,
on skates he might have, but at the table he's just a gentle giant. That's all.
He is.
Oh yeah,
I'm back, y'all.
Super guy. I mean, it was so funny. Like I was like literally scared, and he was like, "What are you shaking your leg for?" And I go, "I'm afraid you're gonna beat me." And Richard had his wife there with him, and I mean, she's a very nice lady and everything. So yeah, Richard, I know he's gonna see this later, but yeah, we kind of he deserves to get roasted a little bit by all of us here. Yeah, we haven't heard
Rusty,
stab at him.
We get a playback for this, Rusty. We got a playback.
Oh, is this recorded?
It's being
It'll be on YouTube later.
Well, damn. All right. Well, I
Go
love
ahead
that
and get
guy.
your
He taught me
affairs in
everything
order,
I
Rusty.
knew. I love him.
Danielle, let's
Do y'all have
best shot
dinner?
at Richard.
Hey, Rusty, do y'all have dinners or get together in the stadium? Hey, Rusty, do y'all have dinners? Do y'all have dinners down there?
I eat dinner. I eat dinner every night. No, let me tell you something. I haven't seen Richard since Roller Jam. There's a few skaters here that I see on a regular basis. Bill Barker, Danielle lives down the street from me. We have beers probably once every 2 weeks, sometimes every week. There's a few skaters. I'm still in touch with Slopey and a few of them. Not many. Tim Washington, I recently reconnected with. But we don't really get together anymore. And what's sad is after Roller Jam, me and Sean Atkinson would hang out a little bit and we do this and that. And then when him and Denise separated, he kind of fell off the map. Then I saw him again on Facebook. And then just as fast as I saw him on Facebook, he passed away. So unfortunately, no, I don't. And I wish we did. Yeah. But I thoroughly, listen, I mean this with all my heart. I thoroughly enjoyed my whole time there. I loved everybody. There were people we didn't get along with. But you know what? We were kids. A lot of us were younger. And I wouldn't hold anything against anybody. And I love everybody, man. But I wish we got together more, but we don't. But the few people that I made really good friends with, I still talk to. So, that means a lot to me.
Well,
y'all have a good, because it's a great having a fraternity that, like wrestling, roller derby. We all get together at the reunion and have dinners and everything. Mm-hmm. And nobody can go back to that because at one time y'all was the hottest thing on TV. And,
yeah, we were, but yeah.
Hey, I got thrown in the penalty box in my local roller rink on a few occasions because of these guys. So
some of that story.
Oh yeah.
They're all true stories too. It's hilarious. I mean,
yeah.
That roller rink now is closed too, and I go by it and I look at the building and it's like, oh man, and then I remember, I look back at doing these episodes with you guys, and it's like, it just all ties in, and it's like, damn, I wish that place was still open, because I'd, now that I'm out of the cast, I'd grab a pair of quads and try to skate the floor and see if I can stay upright, because I bet I can't anymore.
Well, I have dinners now. I do dinners at the boys club and the girls club and different, things. And I show not only roller derby, roller games, I show a lot of roller jams. So y'all are being played as of now. And that's cool. I don't choose, because the fraternity that we have will never change anything. It's nothing like it.
That's awesome.
That's true.
This is the first time we've had a skate. Besides Richard,
yeah,
a roller games representative and roller jam representatives under the same umbrella. So our slogan is, you never know who's gonna pop up And
That's right.
you know, tonight we got Icebox for the first time. You know, we have Richard roasting everybody and him taking.
Yes.
Richard roasting or us actually giving it back to him for once.
Oh, giving it back
for the first time, bro.
I didn't need wait for him to go away. I said it right there with him on camera that he was something before electricity.
Yes.
Hey guys, I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Rusty, shake it twice. You're playing with it.
No, I already did that.
Danielle, you're getting a little red in the face. What's wrong there, buddy?
What? It's late. It's 9:30.
Hey guys, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Lauren, you know the rules, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we'll see you in a few minutes.
All right.
What's the rule for Lauren? Because I want to make sure he keep up with him.
It's the same rule as everybody. You shake it twice, you're playing with it.
I think Danielle and I are in the same boat.
Yeah, how old are we?
Okay.
Hold on here. Danielle, you
I
remember
think
this?
some of us are our actual ages, and some people who are in the top left corner are still back in high school.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question from the ladies?
Go ahead.
Did y'all have like promo pictures? Did y'all have promo pictures or anything?
I think some of the main players did. I was not a main player. I was more of a pack skater. So I didn't have one. But I mean, we got pictures taken individually and stuff. So I have like slides of myself, but never I had a promo picture that like where people like I could sign it and hand it out. I know others did.
Well, me being one of the old time skaters, I do want y'all to hook up with John and give me an autographed picture because y'all was two of the skaters I watched.
Wow.
Okay.
So if that can be possible. The other lady that I watched, she was on the ride. She was kind of muscular, short, black hair.
He's talking about Gina.
Gina Lombardo?
Gina?
The Wild Child?
That was
it
that
Gina?
was my favorite.
She the one that she
That
started
was
out on she started out on the
Sundogs.
Sundogs.
Sundogs,
Yeah,
and then she
Sundogs.
went she ended up on the Enforcers, right?
No,
Nope, she went to the Riot.
I think it was just Riot.
She finished in the Riot with the Riot.
By the way, and just a heads up to everybody, she was actually supposed to be the one sitting next to me tonight, not this guy right here. But
Wow.
Wow, the looks you were getting.
Johnny. Johnny. So ladies, if you have a chance, if you have them, John, you can get them to John and John will get them to me.
that'd be awesome. Yeah, are you talking about Johnny Dangerously over here?
Yes, John, I talk to John regularly all the time. Make sure you're all right down there.
Oh, he's fine. I'm keeping him in line tonight, which I know is hard to do. And as
Well,
for the comment earlier about the, some of us are still in high school thing, I totally resemble that comment. So I just want to make that clear.
You resemble or you resent?
I resemble that comment. Okay, I want to make that
It's
clear.
8x10 glossy
I mean,
with an autograph on it.
hold on here. Rate my maturity level from 1 to 10. Anybody want to take a vote on that number?
10.
-1.
4.5.
Which way? Which way are we going? Like 10, like the most mature, 1 no?
No, 10 the least mature.
Oh, well,
Okay,
excuse
All right, in
me.
that case, 6.5.
12.
14.
Danielle, you might know the number here. You want to say it?
There's a lot of zeros involved.
No, I sent you a meme of it. I sent you a meme of it. Rate my maturity level on a scale from 1 to 10. It holds up the number 69.
Hello.
I said that one to her too. She doesn't remember it. She's still disturbed by the kitty one with the cat sticking his head out of the couch cushions.
Yeah, I am. I'm traumatized. I need therapy. Thanks.
I'll buy you a beer, okay?
You better buy her more than one.
It's gonna be like $7 to $9.
You better be more.
Might have to buy-
you better buy
might
more
have to
than
buy
that if
3
we're gonna
beers.
deal with you.
Okay, fine, Danielle. I'm sorry. I'll be your
Better buy her a
When I-
6-pack.
Bring
When
John
I
with you,
get
and you
to
can pitch
town,
in
I'm
to pay
gonna
for me.
hang out at the
I
bar
don't
with
drink
Rusty.
water. I drink craft beer, so it's gonna be a little pricey.
Okay, fine. I mean, at least you're not like Jamie Conamack after 6 Coronas.
Oh boy.
Water.
Hey,
Shots
hey,
fired.
hey, that's
I feel
that's piss
it's
water.
like
That's piss water. That's piss water. So if me
Water.
and Dan, listen, if me and Danielle meet you guys for dinner this week, you're gonna have to buy the drinks. We'll buy dinner, but you gotta buy drinks.
Okay, fine, we'll do that. You're buying dinner for all 3 of
You'll be
us,
buying,
right?
You'll be buying a $14 craft beer.
Where you
Or
guys
the
want to meet?
can.
You guys will probably meet at Taco Bell or something. You want to meet at Taco
No,
Bell?
no.
No.
Chico Taco or
Rusty, what is wrong with you, dude? I am
I
not
love
going to
Taco
be
Bell.
at Taco Hell where it's going to come out the other end in 3 hours.
It doesn't
3,
matter.
that's
It's still good.
generous.
It's
That's
still
like 3
good.
minutes.
It's still good. It's still good.
Sorry, Danielle. I'm sorry to be graphic here. I'm just being honest.
And we're not even in after dark yet.
The
No,
line has been crossed.
Oh, she hasn't seen us cross the
no,
line.
she has not. No.
No, but
Danielle, if
you've
you
already
can-
crossed the after dark line, and it's not after dark
We're
yet.
standing on the border.
We're standing on the border. Rob and Ashley, you guys can verify. After dark is even much worse than this.
Well,
Yeah,
then I need to get out of
break,
here.
we break the fourth wall quite often.
We got somebody coming
yeah.
in, a massive fan.
4th wall. There's a rule in there that's in effect right now that he has yet to cross yet.
Fourth walls are meant to be broken.
Yeah.
We haven't quite crossed that line. Nobody's dropped an F-bomb on how do I turn these speakers up.
I've said that a few times. I'm sorry.
No, the first episode was funny.
No, the very first episode. And who was it that broke it? I think Rusty made reference to the person earlier and said, "Oh, that's a shame." Very first episode, we were 2 minutes in, and said person drops one of the 7 forbidden on the episode, and I was like, "Well, there goes our PG rating. Thanks."
Was that me?
No,
No, actually, it wasn't.
It was
Jen Matthews.
It was Jenny Matthews.
Oh, good. Okay, with me. All right. All right. Cool.
Hey,
Oh, boy.
Rusty,
And
this
that-
has to be
and
like
that-
the first time you have not had a SOG or anything come out about you or a
No,
rule.
but after that,
Yeah.
after that, when the one that was the most raunchy half the time was Danny Wolf.
Yeah, Danny Wolf was worse than any of us on that very first episode, and I was like, "Damn, Wolfie."
Yeah, he seemed like the boy next door, but
Danny
not
Wolf
so
during
much.
Roller Champ.
Yeah, I mean, this Danny Wolf would have actually kept the show on the air for all intents and purposes, and Stone Cold would have been like mild compared to him.
No.
Oh yeah.
Not TNT. What was it? TNT or TNN?
TNN, yeah.
Look at all the crap they gave ECW back then. Imagine having
Yep.
a Danny Wolf like that.
Oh yeah.
God, Danny Wolf could have been the Paul Heyman of Roller Jam if they
Hey,
would
was
let him really.
was ECW on before us or after us?
It was always before.
It was before.
Where are you guys?
They were the lead-in show to the
You
Roller
were
Jam.
they were 8 o'clock to 9, and you guys were 9 to what, like
9 to 10.
9 to 10. We met a couple of those. So remember when they were on our show?
Yeah.
Remember when they were on our show? So me and Bill Barker were downtown right after the show, and we met a couple of those guys. We hung out with them, and they were like just awesome guys, man. They were cool. So we hung out downtown with them for a little while. Just straight up professionals. I don't care how they portrayed themselves on TV. They were straight up professionals.
They
man.
were
They
so
my favorite
nice.
people.
And
Yeah.
I went to the actual ECW show downtown Orlando, and then there was some cross promotion thing, and like they spotlighted Mark D'Amato, and he fought with somebody, and then we all got invited upstairs, and then they all came back to I remember some hotel near SeaWorld or something, and there was some like little after party thing, and then they came on to our shows. But they were super nice guys.
Well, it wasn't the Sabu's of the RVDs. Now that'd be a different story.
I think it was wasn't it the Axel Rotten?
It was
and-
Axel Rotten. That was
Rotten.
I'm
Paul
actually
Mahoney.
that
I
you
think
said
the FBI was in there too. I think
It
Dreamer
was
might have been there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I
Oh,
thought
it
Dreamer
was-
was
no,
a part of that
it
group.
was
Tommy Dreamer. So
it was-
downtown,
it was-
we met up with Sam. What was his name? Sambu, or what was his name?
Sabu.
Taboo.
It was him, and it was Axel Rotten and the little bitty
Axel
guy,
Rotten.
like a short guy shorter than me.
Nunzio.
Yeah, that's who
Oh, yeah.
that's who we saw downtown, and we all went and had cigars and hung out. They were just straight up professionals, man. They're badass.
I'm surprised because you've heard stories about.
Oh
Axl
yeah, no,
Rotten,
there's
Axl
some
Rotten.
stories out there about Axel Rotten and some of the ECW guys being really partiers.
No, he was mellow,
They're all
man. He was
paid
mellow.
for it now.
Yeah,
he was mellow.
I mean, not
Luckily,
that.
luckily, you guys didn't meet the Sandman.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, he
Danny
might have
Lee.
been in WCW at the time when
No, he was there. He was there. He was in ECW back then. Sandman was there.
Oh,
I used to watch
okay.
him.
Sandman
Yeah, I
was?
used to watch him.
Yeah, Sandman
Yep,
was
he
back
was
in
there.
ECW when they were
When did he do the Hank? The Hank.
the
gimmick?
hack.
The
gimmick?
hack.
That was
gimmick, yeah.
98. That was only like for like 2 or 3 months
Okay.
in
I
98.
thought that was 2000.
It was very short lived. It was like right when like Bam Bam Bigelow got to WCW, and then like Sandman showed up like right after, and then he did that little thing with Goldberg and Raven and all that stuff.
You know what I'd like
Yeah.
to see?
Mm.
I'd like to see Danielle do her best Sandman impression with the beer can.
Was she gonna slam it on her head?
It is.
You crush the can repeatedly hard on your forehead, and then you break it in half and.
No,
or something
I'm
like
not.
that.
I'm
And then you
don't
gotta hit
recommend it.
yourself.
Sorry.
Then you gotta hit yourself in the head with a kendo stick.
I'm back, y'all.
With
I know, I'm
a
good.
cigarette in your mouth. With a cigarette in your mouth.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I'm
You
good.
have to get the cigarette.
No.
There was also the part of the entrance where he would pour the beer on the girl in the audience or whoever was with him.
Yeah,
That
he'd pour the beer on a girl in the audience, and he'd literally
lick it off.
well, he would do that, or he would literally like give her like hard on in the nipples.
Okay, I believe you have officially run into after dark, Maryville.
Camera.
Line.
Back over the line. Back over the line.
Hold on. Here's the line,
You're over here.
and here's Bill.
No, you're over here. You're way over here.
I'm not way over there.
I'll bring her.
Okay, Rusty, who
Well,
you
you
talking?
know Well, y'all know I run wrestling shows here. I was just hanging with Sabu last weekend. He was on my show.
Nice.
And he did an autograph signing for my show. And the next show I have the Boogeyman, Darren Young, Fred Rouser, and I just had Brian Cage who had a family illness, but he was supposed to be on there too.
Didn't the Boogeyman just re-sign with WWE, or was that just a rumor?
That was a rumor.
Rumor.
Yeah,
No,
Boogeyman's
no,
like
listen,
I think he was on a
Hello?
Legends
He's
deal,
signed-
in terms of
he's under
appearances.
he's under the Legends deal, and whenever they need him on the show, he's on the show.
That's true.
He's coming back to Wrestle K come this Thanksgiving. So I'm happy to see him.
Did Brian
Yeah,
Cage leave AEW?
No, they just renewed his contract.
They took the option. They renewed the 1-year option.
I haven't seen him on TV in months, pretty much since he dropped the FTW title. That was
You
pretty
can
much
watch
it.
him up dark where no one else does.
I think that's where they filmed Dark at his studio.
Yes.
I think that's where they filmed Dark. AEW Dark is actually at the Roller Jam Arena.
That's true.
Isn't that where Impact used to be too when it first started
Yep.
off going on TV?
I
Yep.
actually went there. I went to one of their pay-per-views in TNA pay-per-views when they were in the Impact Zone. It was like mid 2007, and it was like
when they were on Fox Sports. I remember when they first got on
no,
TV.
no. They already
were on
had
Fox
their
Sports.
TV deal. I think it was No Surrender I went to. It was either No Surrender because they have one of those cage matches of theirs. But it wasn't lethal, it wasn't lockdown. It was It was like just I remember I saw Tara or Victoria. She just debuted for them like maybe that year. So, but it was like.
So what was W?
Hmm?
So how close was WCW to y'all?
WCW?
WCW.
I loved WCW.
WCW
How close?
was
Which arena?
They didn't have an arena here, right?
No, WCW traveled.
Yeah, they didn't have
Right.
a home base here.
Sort of the one time that they didn't really travel, that was in that whole transition period of their early 90s
Oh yeah.
Nitro. They were doing center stage in Atlanta on a regular basis. When they cut down on touring for a while before they ramped things back up later in the 90s.
Wasn't there WCW Saturday Night in the late 90s? In like
Yeah,
the
that was
same
filmed, I think, in
spot?
Yeah, I think that was center stage. Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah,
It was all worldwide.
WCW Worldwide.
Yeah, I think they were all filmed in Atlanta though, in the studio.
That's where Jeff Jarrett got the idea to do TNA in Universal because of the set of what WCW was able to accomplish when they filmed at the MGM studio in Disney.
Where's Rusty and Danielle at? Did they like quietly?
No, we're still here. We're still here. I'm looking at my email. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, did you guys like quietly meet off camera and you guys are not trying to,
No, I don't like her. I don't like her.
Y'all are crazy.
Rusty, is there anybody you really like?
My mom.
That's a good person to like.
Yeah.
I told Icebox about how we do this, and I told him you gotta come on one day. You're gonna like it. You're gonna have fun. Trust me.
Oh yeah. And just saying, this isn't going to be the 6-hour episode that we're accustomed to because the HOA here in Kissimmee wants us to do quiet time between 10 p.m. and 8 a.m.
I'll tell him straight up. I know a cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to get kicked out of here, man.
It is. It's 11 p.m. It's 11 p.m. up here.
No, it's 9:50 here.
All right. Hey,
on the same time as you, Rob.
I'm gonna get off. I gotta get up early. I gotta go work out and go to work tomorrow. So listen, I'll be in touch with you. I'm gonna send you a location and a day and time. If it works for you, then we can link up. If not, we'll just work it out. But I really appreciate you guys having us on here. It means a lot. Thank you.
Oh, no, Rusty, it's our pleasure. And I'm glad that you were able to make it on. And yeah, if I would have given you more fair warning that we were coming down today, I would have said, hey, get your butt over here to the condo where we're at. And
that's all right. Listen, you're the one on vacation. So when I give you, hold on, my light went out again. So if I give you a time and a place, you're going to meet us, right?
Hell yeah. Let's just plan on Tuesday if you guys are okay with that.
Tuesday's a good day. I'm going to send you an address to meet us at.
Okay.
And
yeah, we're going to go to the beach in the morning.
As far as I know, Danielle is on board with that, but let's do that. And if you guys can swing it, then I'm going to send you an address. Just meet us there, okay?
Yeah, I'll sneak into the trunk and come along.
Well, I hope you will, John. I'm seriously, I hope you will. So
go for the back seat at least. Jeez.
I got a
Bye.
Have a good night, Captain.
All right, Cap.
Good night, Cap.
I should have made the trip. I'm starting to regret it now.
Yeah, I kind of wish I could have made it down.
All right, I'm gonna listen, guys. I'm gonna get off.
40-degree weather.
I'm gonna send you guys an address, and then we'll meet you there Tuesday. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Just send me the address. You got my cell number. I think Danielle had it, but I've never got a text from her. She's probably afraid of the screwed up crap I'll send her.
No, you're all right. I will. I'll send you an address, and we'll see you there Tuesday. Okay.
All right, brother.
All right, brother. Hey, guys. Hey, thank you everybody for being on here. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Rusty.
All right, we'll see you all soon.
Rusty.
All right, take care, Rusty.
You guys are all awesome.
Yeah.
Who's staying on for the next 5 minutes here?
You got me for
I'll be
2 minutes.
I'll be on for another 5 minutes max. I gotta get ready for bed soon myself. I gotta get up